Let's just jump right into it. Welcome to this explainer. Today we are tackling what is arguably one of the most frustrating bottlenecks in modern software development. You know the drill. Trying to get your AI to actually remember your coding preferences so you can stop repeating yourself every single day. So we're going to master Claude Skills, and we'll break down exactly how they interact with the Model Context Protocol, or MCP.
So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the workflow portability problem. Figure out what Claude skills actually are. Compare those skills to MCP servers, unpack the progressive disclosure architecture, look at some awesome skills in action, and finally wrap up with security and next steps.
All right, part 1, the workflow portability problem. Let's talk about the absolute dread of the blank slate.
We've all been there, right? You spin up a brand new session in Claude Code or whatever agent you're using, and it's basically got amnesia. It has zero memory of how you like things done. So you have to sit there and re-explain your testing conventions, your very specific Git workflow, your custom code review checklist, the whole shebang. But here's the light bulb moment. This is not a context problem, it's a workflow portability problem. What you really need is a way to just package up your behavior and carry it with you from session to session.
Which brings us to part 2. What exactly are Claude skills? Let's look at how they solve this portability headache once and for all.
Honestly, it's brilliant in its simplicity. Claude skills are essentially reusable instruction packages. If you look at it on the file system level, a skill is really just a folder that has a skill.md file inside it. That file holds some basic YAML front matter, just a name and a description, followed by your structured markdown instructions. And you can even bundle it with extra scripts, references, and assets if you want. Because it's packaged this way, Claude Code only loads what it actually needs exactly when it needs it, meaning you never have to repeat yourself again.
Moving on to part 3, skills versus MCP servers. We absolutely have to talk about this because it's the biggest point of confusion for developers right now.
So a lot of people get this wrong. They treat skills and the Model Context Protocol like they're competing with each other. They're not. They are operating at completely different layers of the stack. Think of MCP as your access layer. It handles the authentication, transport, and discovering external tools. Then you have tools, which are the raw actions, like reading a file or pinging an API. Skills are the behavior layer. They define the workflow, the order of execution, and the guardrails. In a real production environment, all 3 of these layers are running together perfectly.
To put that into perspective, a skill is absolutely not replacing your GitHub MCP server. It's engineering the behavior right on top of it. Your MCP server does the heavy lifting of authorizing and connecting to your GitHub repo. But it's the Claude skill that steps in and tells the agent how to actually do the code review. It dictates exactly what security flaws to hunt for, what architectural standards to enforce, and how you want that feedback formatted.
Okay, part 4, the progressive disclosure architecture. Now, you might be thinking, wait a second.
If I load hundreds of these packages, won't I just nuke my context window before I even type a single prompt? Well, no, because of progressive disclosure. When you fire up a session, the agent only looks at the metadata, just the name and description. That's tiny, like 100 tokens per skill. It's only when the agent realizes, hey, this specific skill is actually relevant to the prompt right now, that it loads the full sk.md body, which is usually under 5,000 tokens. And any extra scripts, those only load purely on demand. So you're only pulling in the heavy context when you absolutely need it.
And the best part? This isn't some duct tape community hack. It is a robust, official standard. Look at this, it's baked right into the Claude API. You have dedicated endpoints to create, list, grab, delete, and even version your skills. It's a completely foundational part of the ecosystem now.
Right, let's get to the fun stuff. Part 5, awesome skills in action. Let's look at some battle-tested implementations you can literally use today.
Believe it or not, there's already this massive community repo called Awesome Claude Skills, put together by Composio HQ, and it aggregates over 1,000 of these packages. I mean, people have built skills for everything you can think of, deeply processing PDFs, complex data crunching, and even advanced security stuff like web fuzzing. A huge standout right now is the Superpowers library by a user named Obra. It's wild. It basically intercepts your coding agent so it can't just start blindly writing code. It forces the agent to stop, brainstorm, write out a detailed plan, and follow strict red-green test-driven development. It will even let your main agent spin up fresh little sub-agents to handle bite-sized tasks. It's a real game changer. But what if you want your agent to actually interact with the real world?
Check out the Connect Apps plugin. This takes things way beyond just generating text. With this, your agent can securely shoot off emails for you, autonomously write up and format Jira or GitHub issues, and even drop update messages directly into your team's Slack channel. Think about how many context switches that saves you in a day.
Okay, part 6, security and next steps. Before you go wild downloading 1,000 of these, we definitely need to have a quick reality check about guardrails.
The official documentation gives a really blunt warning, and it hits the nail on the head. Treat it like installing an NPM package from a stranger. You have to remember, these skills can execute arbitrary scripts right in your local environment. So you absolutely must read the sk.md file and any bundled scripts before loading something from the community. You're handing the AI executable code. You need to be 100% sure what you're authorizing it to do.
Just keeping it real for a second, there are a few limitations to keep in mind too. Since this standard is super fresh, just released in late 2025, the behavior might be a bit different depending on if you're using Cursor, Codex, or the Gemini CLI. Also, if you want that massive 500 app automation we talked about, you'll need a Composio account, so make sure that fits into your threat model. And honestly, above all else, a poorly written skill is really just a beautifully packaged bad instruction. You still have to write good prompts.
So here's my challenge to you as we wrap up this explainer. Take a hard look at your coding sessions over the last couple of weeks. If you find yourself typing out the exact same formatting rules or the same setup instructions more than once, why on earth isn't it a skill yet? It's time to stop retyping and start engineering workflows that actually scale with you. All right, that's all for today. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.